Today is exciting because I am live both on Instagram and also on YouTube because I got enough followers now on YouTube to be live. So I'm live on both. I don't have anybody watching yet, which is fine. I have plenty of stuff to talk about, but I'm on both. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to just ask me whatever you want to ask me later. Okay, so here we go. Let me see. Oh, here we go. I got my first question. Hello. No, I'm actually not single. I'm actually married, and I just like to give women advice on how to um, just see the red flags in men that they're dating, so that they don't end up in a toxic relationship. And you know why? Because I was in a toxic relationship, so I don't want anybody to have to deal with that. Yes, I have two kids. They are very young, so they are two kids. They are ages 3 and 5. So how about you? Do you have any kids? Oh my gosh, these questions are terrible. No, I'm not answering that kind of crap. It's none of your business. No, you cannot be my oldest son. Wow, YouTube, the perverts are coming out. This is crazy. This channel is not for you. Keep scrolling. This channel is for women. I'm trying to help women see the red flags. Those are some red flags, guys. Those are some red flags. Well, train lover, I don't know who you are. Like, okay, let's see. Okay, so what's your best type of question? I'll ask a good one. I'm a good guy that was in an abusive though. Okay. I can understand that. I know. So here's the thing is that men can be abusive, women can be abusive too. But I feel like it's a little bit different because when men are abusive to women, women are naturally not as strong as men. So when men start getting violent, then the women don't really have much of a chance, now do they? They're the ones that are usually afraid for their life. Whereas when a man, like women don't typically like get too violent, you know what I mean? Like women don't, they're a little bit, they're manipulative in a different way, which still sucks and which is still very difficult. And all of the tactics that I talk about, all the manipulation tactics I talk about, women also do. And they probably do them better because women are just better manipulators. But I'm not really here to necessarily help the men, although the men, they can find, um, thank you. Thank you, Jen. Anyways, because the men who are watching this too, they can absolutely learn a bunch of stuff about the manipulation tactics. You can also use that in your dating life because the women will do the same tactics. I mean, it's for anybody. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go into what I want to talk about today. And basically, here's what I want to talk about. I just wanted to talk about do you have a plan? Like, do you have a plan for dating, for the kind of partner that you want in your life? Because I don't know if you've ever gone to the grocery store. Now, I have. I've gone to the grocery store way too many times without a grocery list, right? So when you go to the grocery store without a grocery list, what do you get? You get all kinds of crap. And then you forget half the stuff that you actually needed from the grocery store. And if we can be that bad with something small, like like just getting groceries, when you have a plan and you have a list to what you need from the grocery store, yeah, you might go and you might find a couple things that are like, oh, I want that and I want that. I want a couple extra stuff here. But you're definitely going to get the stuff that you actually need. When you get the stuff that you need, you're happy. Even if you got a couple extra things that you didn't need, maybe you wanted some extra chocolate, or maybe you saw some healthy food that you wanted to try out. Whatever, right? That's okay, but at least you get your needs met, right? Now, how about your career? I don't know if you plan your career, you plan like what college you want to go to, you plan what you want to do later in life, and you start taking classes that are geared toward that. You start doing things that are geared toward that, and then you start doing that, right? You go that direction. You say, hey, I want to be a doctor, and if you want to be a doctor, there's a lot of planning that you have to do. in order to become a doctor. Okay, now I wasn't that ambitious. I didn't want to be a doctor, but but I definitely knew I had things that I wanted to do, right? So why wouldn't you have a plan of what kind of person that you want to be with, right? You want to, like, do you want somebody who's patient? Do you want somebody who is kind? Do you want somebody um, who has some of the same interests as you? Do you want somebody who, I don't know, has the um, same spiritual beliefs as you? There's a lot of different things that are very, very important to think about. Okay, when will we change? Can you help me, please? I need advice. What kind of advice do you need? What is this? 2 of my 6 girlfriends are upset with me. What can I do? First of all, you have 6 girlfriends? Like, what do you want to have a harem or something? Like, are they all okay with this? Because last time I checked, I think pretty much every state, even probably Nevada, says you can only marry one person. And I'm can only really give you advice for a monogamous relationship. Plus, how are you handling 6 girlfriends? I don't know. I don't know how you do that, but I would honestly break up with all of them and work on yourself a little bit. That's my advice. Let me see what else you got. What else you were saying here? I only wanted one girlfriend, but was cursed with being born handsome. Okay, that's still not an excuse. I'm sorry. I don't care if you are the handsomest man in the world. It's still your choice to have 6 girlfriends. That's too many. That's way too many. I don't know how you handle that, because there's no way that I would ever want to have be in more than one relationship. So you get to pick. You get to pick. Obviously, my man treats me right. That's why I'm still with him. Because guess what? I know all the manipulations. I know all the red flags. And guess what? He doesn't have them. So we're good. We're good to go. Okay, I tried going out with what? Oh, with a bag over my head, but I have an amazing body. Doesn't know. Dude, you're like so full of yourself. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Was this like all the narcissists come and tune in right now on YouTube? Like, this is crazy. Oh my gosh, you guys are making me laugh though. You're definitely making me laugh. I'm wanting like women asking me questions about, hey, is this a red flag, or is that a red flag, or am I crazy, or is he not treating me right? That's what I'm kind of more looking for, not like asking me if I'm single and telling me that there's something in my teeth and all this crap. What the heck? Oh, look, I'm okay. You're saying this is serious. Here's the deal. I'm serious too. I'm serious. I believe you should only be in one. You should only be in a relationship with one person, with one woman. Okay. So if you have 6 girlfriends, that's too many. And there's obviously something going on with you. It's your choice to be in a relationship with 6 different women. Do they know about each other? Like, I don't know what your situation is, but if they don't know about each other, I say you just break up with all of them and maybe get into some therapy and get some figured out what the heck is going on with you that you want to be in so many relationships. Is it that you just can't say no to people? That you have terrible boundaries or something? I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. I'm not your therapist, so I think that's my advice, and I'm serious. This is my advice to you, is that if you have 6 girlfriends, break up with all of them, please, and go get into therapy and figure out what the problem is, what the boundary is. It a boundary problem? What is it? Because I don't know. It's not just going to be because you're hot, because there are a lot of hot men out there that are single and that are not in a relationship, and that can say no to other people, to other women. So that's my advice. That's seriously my advice to you. Anyways, back to the women. Here's what I wanted to talk about, is that you should really figure out what you want. And sometimes you do have to go on some dates to figure out what exactly you want. Like, do you want an intelligent man who can talk to you about anything? Do you want somebody who's nice? Like, what are specifically the things that you want? Because you want to have your checklist, okay? And there are obviously some things that are nice to have, right? Like, okay, I would leave all of them and go into therapy, but my therapist would probably end up dating me. I'm sorry. Get yourself a male, a male therapist. There are male therapists out there, and I don't think that your therapist would end up wanting to date you. So, I mean, I know that some of them are crazy, and I know that that happens sometimes. But go get yourself a male therapist then. That's my that's my advice. I don't know what your specific situation is, but like, and I'm sorry to laugh about it, but you know, I don't know why. I don't know why you have 6 girlfriends all at one time. I don't know how on earth you handle that. That's yeah, that's really my advice. Okay. Oh my gosh, you're laughing at my pain. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Like, oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that's my advice. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because honestly, that's all I have to say. That's all I really have to say is that if you really have 6 girlfriends, I would say break up with all of them, get into therapy. If you think a therapist is going to want to date you, get in therapy with a male therapist. Okay. There's some stuff going on there that you need to work out, and I can't work that out for you. You say you have any idea how hard it is to hide washboard abs under a shirt? Dude, it's very easy. You just put a shirt on. That's all. That's all you got to do. And then nobody knows if you have washboard abs or not. Oh my goodness. Are you like a model or something? Like, what the heck? That's crazy. But that is my advice to you. Like, I'm still would say that. I don't care. I don't care how good looking you are. There's no way that you you can't just say no. Okay, so let me get back to what I wanted to talk about. Okay, so sometimes you have to go on a few dates to really figure out what exactly it is that you want from a relationship. No, I'm not meeting with in person with you to talk about this. We probably don't even live in the same state. Why on earth would I ever do that? No. Oh my gosh. I can assure you right now, I'm not meeting with you and I'm not going to fall in love with you. Okay. So I can assure you you are too much, buddy. You are too much. Sometimes you have to reflect on what it is exactly that you want in a partner so that you know. Um, most people want a faithful partner who is going to be monogamous with that only them. That is definitely one thing that most people want. And I'm telling you to put that on your list if it's not on there. But anyways, but you should really reflect on that because it's going to be different for everybody. Like some people really, you know, value certain things and other people don't. You know, like you might have spiritual beliefs that you really want to have, or even political beliefs. Because I mean, I can tell you, it's going to be really difficult if you have very strong political beliefs and you want to be in a relationship with somebody who has the opposite political beliefs. You're gonna struggle. So I think that's something you should think about. It just depends on the things that are really important to you. And so I feel like you should really reflect on that and like make your list. Make your list of all the things um, that you want in that person, and then keep that in your mind. Always have that in mind. This is what I am looking for. And then so then every time you go on a date, it's more intentional. You're like, okay, does he have these things that I'm looking for? Are there any red flags? Are there red flags that I really should be watching out for? Okay. So those are kind of some of the things that I'm thinking about. Okay, so your girlfriend believes in God and keeps telling you what to do. So is she aware of the other girlfriends? She screams at you all the time. Well, do you really want to be in a relationship with somebody who's going to scream at you all the time? Because I don't. I know I don't. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Cut them all off. Go to therapy. Figure it out. That's what I'm saying. Because I think there's more to your story than what you're telling me on here. And me just being on a quick little live and you telling me a couple things here and there is not. I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly what to do. But that's what I'm saying. Is I think you might need a little bit more time to work on some of this stuff. So one of the things so I actually have I don't even know if I want to say it now, but I have a free guide where I have 15 questions that you should ask on a date, and it'll help you spot red flags. But it's not only going to help you spot red flags. It's also going to help you kind of get to know the person a lot too. So And in each of the different, I have different categories of questions to ask. And so um, I feel like you should always go into a date having at least a handful of questions that you know you want to have answered. Because otherwise it's kind of a waste of time. Like, you should definitely have a goal. I feel like every date is kind of like an interview. Like, you're interviewing for a very important job, and that is for your life partner, right? For the person who you want to have in your life. So, um, so that's why I put this guide together, because I I I asked just some of my friends, and they were like, "Oh, I think this is something that I would really want to have." And so that's why I put that together, because I just think it's important. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan for every date. And here's what I'm going to tell you right now. Here's what I think, and I think it goes. Some people might think that it's a little bit too much, but better safe than sorry, right? So for me, what I think, when you are meeting somebody for the first time, you should let a friend know. You should drive yourself to that date, because you always want to have an exit plan. You want to have right away. You want to have an exit plan. You might want to, whoever the person is that knows that you're going to be on this date, have some kind of a word, or just send them an emoji or something where they call you. If you need to get out, you're like, oh no, there's like red flags, or we're just not vibing. I don't want to waste any more time with this situation, with this date. You send them the little emoji or whatever, and then they call you and they say, oh hey, I need help. And then like, oh, I'm sorry, my friend needs help, I need to get out. Okay. And then you go. So that's me. That's a good plan to have. Have some kind of plan like that, right? um and that's pretty much for any date, right? And then have questions that you are ready to ask. Know what to ask on the first date. Have things that you want to get answers for, because if you are just going to just dilly dally, well, yeah, if you're gonna go to the store without having a list, then you're not gonna remember, like, oh, what is it that I was really trying to get out of this? And you won't get anything out of it. You're gonna kind of just waste your time. And yeah, it might be fun, and that's good. You'll probably still learn something from it. Like, you'll learn um, the good and the bad of what you might want out of the person. But it's better to have a purpose if you don't want to waste your time while you're dating. And I do believe that it's a numbers game. You should go on a lot of dates, because you're not going to vibe with everybody. And you really want to kind of know who's out there, and who you're going to be compatible with. Because the first 10 you might not be compatible with, but then maybe number 12. I don't know. But that's why I say you should definitely go on a lot of dates. Date more than one person at a time, because then it gives you that energy of like, oh, I don't have to be committed to this because I have other options. So it doesn't feel like, because I know I used to date one man at a time, and then you always are like, oh, you always put so much into that date, thinking like, oh, if this doesn't work out, I'll be devastated, and it's like, no, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world if a date doesn't work out. There's so many other people in this world. This guy has 6 girlfriends. What the heck? So see, if this guy can have 6 girlfriends, you can go on 6 dates with different people, and then pick somebody from there, to be committed to. So that's what I got. If you want my free guide, just put in a comment, guide, and I'll send it to you. I have no idea how to do it yet on YouTube, so I will figure that out, but I will get you a link to it. I do have a link, like, wherever I can put a link, I put a link to it. So you do need to put your email in so I can send it to you, and then you just go from there. Okay? So, any questions that are actual real questions for me? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I guess that's all I wanted to talk about today. This was very interesting. My first live on YouTube. Oh my goodness. I feel like on YouTube I get whew, all the crazies over there. That's where I get the most crazy comments too on all my stuff. I get the best red flag comments that I can use for my content later on. But anyways, I hope that you are doing good, and I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down now. But have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in.